Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Know About Embedded Systems. So in today's video we will understand a very important topic that is related to CAN protocol, and the topic is called like this. So CAN network architecture. So guys, you know that already CAN protocol is widely used in automobiles, in our vehicles, especially in our cars, and how the network we can design and what you can find in the CAN network. So that part we will understand CAN network architecture in our automotive system. So before starting the video, if you are a new viewer to my channel, kindly subscribe my YouTube channel and gain the knowledge on embedded systems and automotive systems as well. Let us start. Now guys, when you consider our CAN network, especially in our cars, when we consider our cars, you will find the ECUs. I told you in the previous videos already. In our cars, we will find more than 10 to 15 different ECUs. So these ECUs we are going to connect to the CAN network. So how to design the CAN network, or how internally the CAN network has been designed, that part we will explore. So basically, in a CAN network, we'll have three major things. One is called as a node, the currently what you are seeing on the screen. The first major component in the CAN network is our nodes. Nodes are nothing but ECUs which are present in the vehicle. This is the first component of the CAN network. The ECUs, or it's also called as nodes. In our terminology, we will call it as a nodes. That's the first component. Second component in the CAN network is CAN bus. So the lines, whatever you are seeing here, you can see here. So I have written it as CAN bus. The CAN bus is nothing but a pair of wires. So this is these two wires, or a pair of wires, are responsible for carrying the information, or they are responsible for transmitting and receiving the data on the CAN bus, or you can say broadcasting. With the help of CAN bus, we can broadcast the data from one ECU to other ECU. So that is the second component. Third component is this CAN bus is divided into two parts. You can see here. One is called as CANH and one is called CANL. This CAN bus is divided into two wires. Nothing but it's a two wire actually. So these two wires are named as CANH and CANL. With the help of this CANH and CANL, we're able to broadcast our message from one ECU to other ECU. This is my second thing. Third thing, termination resistance. You can see here in the CAN bus we will have termination resistance. This termination resistance is used to avoid signal reflections. You can see here we have connected resistance here. Here is one resistance, here is also one resistance. We're going to use two resistors in each end. One end one resistor, and another end we're going to use one resistance. These two resistors we're going to use to avoid or to compensate the signal reflection, to nullify the signal reflections. And the value of these two resistors are 120 ohm. So when you design network like this, ECU, CAN bus, and your termination resistance, easily we are able to transmit and receive the data. So this is a fundamental block diagram of our CAN network architecture. Now let us go slightly deep into the CAN network architecture. I have already explained you in our CAN network. We'll have three major components. One is called as a node, nothing but your ECU. Second one is a CAN bus, the currently whatever you're seeing, that pair of wires. And third one is termination resistance. These three are playing a very important role in our CAN network. Now we will understand one by one what is the each component of your CAN network. The first thing in the CAN node. So when you consider a CAN node is nothing but, already I told you, CAN node is nothing but ECU, or you can also say that it's a microcontroller. Generally we will call it as ECU, or it's also called as a node here. So in this node ECU, or a CAN node, we will have three major components. One is called a host, one is called CAN controller, and one is called CAN transceiver. There are three components you will find inside the node. We will understand what is the functionality of each component of the node. The first thing is called as a host. You can see here the host is nothing but here the host is nothing but it's a main microcontroller which is responsible for getting the data from the sensors and transmitting which data has to be transmitted, which data has to be received, and which functionality we have to enable. All such type of functionalities are going to be programmed in the host microcontroller, and host microcontroller is going to act as a brain of your CAN node. Okay, so it's a kind of a brain. Most of the functionalities will occur in the host microcontroller, the first component of the node. The second component of the node or ECU is nothing but CAN transceiver. So what do you mean by CAN transceiver? CAN controller, sorry. The second component of the CAN node is called as CAN controller. What is this CAN controller? So CAN controller, basically it's a small microcontroller which is responsible for managing all functionalities related to the CAN operation. Whatever topic is coming with respect to the CAN, everything will be handled by CAN controller. Now you can see here we have written something, message framing. Message framing is not a functionality of host microcontroller. The message framing is a functionality of your CAN controller. Error detection is a functionality defined in a CAN controller. Arbitration process is defined in the CAN controller. Like that, every functionality related to the CAN is programmed and written in the CAN controller. This is the second component of our CAN module, or you can say node. The third one module is called as a CAN transceiver. So what is this CAN transceiver? CAN transceiver is nothing but CAN transmitter and receiver. This is the third component in the CAN node. CAN transceiver, CAN transmitter and receiver. Very straightforward definition. What it will do? So this CAN transceiver will split your bits into the CANH and CANL differential voltage. Because your CAN bus is having a 2 wires and you will be transmitting a single bits, and these bits are splitted into a differential voltage concepts, and those bits will be converted into differential voltage, and it will be transmitted towards your CAN bus. So what CAN transceiver will do? CAN transceiver will convert your digital signals from the microcontroller into a differential electrical signal, and it will be transmitted towards CAN bus. The CAN transceiver is used as a transmitter, and a fourth one component inside the CAN network architecture is your CAN bus. I have already explained in the previous slide. What is this CAN bus? The CAN bus is nothing but it is a pair of wires which are twisted pair, we will say, which are going to carry the information. Okay, and this CAN bus is divided into two parts. One is CANH and CANL. These two wires are responsible for broadcasting the data from one ECU to other ECU. And how it is made up, I already told, right? So CAN bus is made up of CANH and CANL. The next one is termination resistance. This already I have explained. The CAN bus will be terminated in a resistance called as termination resistance, which is having 120 ohm. In both the ends of your CAN bus, left side and right side, we have to terminate with the proper resistances to avoid signal reflection. This is very important thing. Why we're going to use termination resistance in a CAN network? This is one of the interview favorite topic and one of the expected question from the interview. What is the role of termination resistance? Termination resistance is used to avoid or to prevent signal reflection. Since we are using a twisted pair of wires, sometimes the same signals may reflect back to the origin. To avoid that, we are going to use termination resistance to avoid signal reflection. Okay, and one more last point I need to explain with respect to CAN architecture: the bus length and its speed. What would be the length of the bus or length of your CAN bus? So this is also one of the important question you can expect in the interview. What will be the length of your CAN bus? So there are different, based on the variant, the different length you will be getting. The first one is when you're going for a standard CAN, you can go up to 40 meter. Up to 40 meter, you will be able to transmit data whenever you're going with a standard CAN of 1 Mbps speed communication. 40 meter distance you can transmit data with the speed of 1 Mbps, and if you're going for still more low speed CAN, 125 kbps when you go, it's going to be 500 meter. Okay, so this is also one of the important question you can expect in the interview. So what would be the length of your canvas? So canvas length up to 40 meter when you go with 1 Mbps speed, and when you go with the low speed 125 kbps, you're able to transmit up to 500 meter. Okay, so this much is related to CAN network architecture. I hope you are clear with the CAN architecture, how it looks like. So this is also one of the interview topic, like how the ECUs are going to be connected, and like that questions you will get in the interview. So if you feel this video is an informative video, please click on like button and subscribe my YouTube channel.